All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, getting you on the grind and improving your mind every single video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you have not already. Today, we're going to be talking about a subject that's basically a month or two old, but it's actually worth talking about, and we never did to this point. But we decided today would be a good day to talk about it. So it's basically a while ago, this video happened. So we're going to play this clip right here, right for you guys. And this is about Alec Baldwin and his wife. They were in some kind of interview for promoting some kind of show, and she did this.
No, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great.
This season,
You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. No, I mean I think
Just let the whole thing play. Yeah, like the.
this is a really raw show, and it's very real, and we took a lot of chances. And I think that we'll see where it leads us. We'll see what it feels like to have be out there, and then we'll see if people like it. That's enough.
Yeah, so when I saw that, we go back to us full screen for now. Yeah, so when I saw that, I was a little it just hurt me, because just knowing that he's a failure, and he speaks for many guys in marriages right now, and it kind of reminded me that a lot of you guys are in relationships, and low-key you're actually not compatible, but you don't know that, because you're just you get access to vagina sometimes, and you actually don't know who you are. You have no self-identity, and you have no awareness of your own situation. But there's a lot of times a quiet desperation of sadness because you actually chose the wrong woman, or maybe the woman chose the wrong man, vice versa. But when I saw that clip, it just reinforced the idea that, with the truth, that a lot of people in relationships have chosen the wrong one. If you're the guy, if you're that guy, your woman would never talk to you like that in public, in an interview, in Hollywood, just like that. She would never do that. Just her doing that is a sign of complete disrespect, and it actually shows how she truly feels about him. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna also add to that, in that if you, like you said, if you are a man who knows who you are, has a specific way of what the things that you're doing, I don't believe you'd be doing exactly what Alec Baldwin was doing and was just constantly talking. I think you would, like, it, regardless of if it's about you or if it's not about you, for like the specific context of them being on this red carpet thing, and they were asked questions or whatever, but I guess it was mostly about her. I guess she directed something or whatever. I don't think it's necessary to be talking. I think it's just perfectly okay if you were going to just stand there, because you're you, right?
He's chilling.
Like, there's this thing.
He probably knows that he messed up.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. There's this thing that's called aura. People might know what it is. If you have it, you don't need to speak. You could just stand there, and people.
Just your presence is already so powerful that you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah, and it's all about like how you portray yourself and how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you are someone like Alec Baldwin in that situation, you have no aura. You have nothing.
And we're going to really pick apart all this, because there's a lot more that we have to show you that really demonstrates what we're trying to talk about. But basically, he is in a false relationship, and I'm sure they have kids together and all that, but it's all based on a lie. And he's probably not being who he really is with her. Otherwise, she would never talk to him like that. And the worst part about it is, a lot of you guys know about the situation from, this happened like a couple months ago. You know about this, and yet you actually fail to take the game that's from this, and you fail to get the knowledge of what this situation could actually be potentially teaching you, and
day to day.
So a lot of you guys need to look at this and say, what can I learn from that? Or maybe look within yourselves, like, does my wife treat me like that too? Maybe I should change things, like learn something from this. But let's go into another clip of basically demonstrating how they act together. One second.
There
It's
it
gonna
is.
be great.
This
You're a
season,
winner.
oh my God! When I'm not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. And that is called, what's the word of the day?
Interrupting, which could be a positive, it could be a negative, or it could be a
correctile dysfunction.
yes, correctile dysfunction. It's one of our children trying to get into the room. But you know, the whole point is because our children are about to come in. The whole point is that we interrupt each other all the time. Or sometimes our kids interrupt us. I mean, Carmen wants you. Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, go get Carmen.
Okay, so now that we cleared all of that up, I cleared it up. Give me a kiss just so they know that I'm not.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'm so happy.
Give me a kiss.
Kiss me.
There it is.
So as you could tell, if it isn't clear enough, she 1,000,000% runs that household, and she runs that dick. She literally just runs it to the ground, and she leads the family, no doubt about that. He is not a leader. He is not a man. He is not to be respected in that house. She's in charge. Go girl, boss bitch, whatever you want to call it. She's the one. He's just there. He was there to give her children and just be there to be there. So as you can see, she's leading him, and he's just like, yeah, I'll go along with it because I guess, I mean, I'm here now, so I might as well. And she looks hot, so I'll just deal with it. No self-respected man actually will deal with that at all. They will not tolerate that at all, and they'll leave, and they'll find someone who actually respects them. And it just goes to show, even if you're a celebrity, even if you're some high-status guy and you're that guy, you could still get disrespected in your own household, and you could still choose the wrong woman to be with. And he's obviously not making the right choices, and somewhere subconsciously in his mind, he knows that, but he's too deep, and he's too far into that world. But the good news is that if you're watching this, you can learn from that and not make the same mistakes as he did, and you can actually live a healthier life and actually be the man that you're supposed to be, because I think in a natural order of relationships, women love to submit to an actual man, but obviously she can't submit to him because he's not the guy. So why submit to what? What does he do? He'll just take orders from her. So
Yeah,
just dumb,
stupid. And I people are gonna, anyone that's gonna watch this is gonna, especially if they're a woman, they're gonna say something. They're gonna call me out on this. But notice how in that video we just watched, how she was wearing some sort of top that pretty much exposed like her full cleavage, right? And of course this is being posted to social media, and of course, so she's pretty much using this not only just for like, because that the whole thing on the red carpet, it blew up and it went viral and everything like that, everyone's going crazy about it, and then they made this as a response, of course, that now she's also going to start showing off her cleavage just to get more people to go and watch this.
of course.
You know,
That is somebody's wife. Stop that, people.
yeah, who was also in that video under a blanket.
Stop looking
like a coward.
Yeah, stop looking at other people's wives, guys. Stop it. It's embarrassing.
It's
Get your own.
it's it's so terrible, and like she's trying to be like, oh, you know, everyone's taking this the wrong way. Like, no, like, to me that just it just shows me complete disrespect. I mean, like he noticed it too, because in that original shot, like he literally walked away, technically walked away from that interaction. He went and started talking to somebody on the other side, and got completely out of that. Because if you're a man and your woman does something like that and disrespects you like that
Constantly,
you're not gonna, I mean, you're like, either you call it out right then and there and make a scene, which is not a good idea, or
we talk about it later. Like,
you,
we're gonna talk about this later.
yeah,
okay.
Or you can just completely, you know, take yourself away from the situation, start doing something that you know that you want to do, and then you, like Andrew said, go back to that and talk about that situation later on,
right,
between the two of you. But we have a few more things that we
actually I want to talk about that article, because I want to talk about how they met. So this is,
let me bring that up.
Yes, while he does that now, every relationship, it can all be stemmed from the beginning. The beginning is when you set the stage of your own relationship, and the beginning determines pretty much the rest of your life. How you start is how you finish in every single way. So we're going to pull up this article because it talks about how they met and the simpery, the simp behavior that he was demonstrating when they first met. And because of how he started is why she disrespects him now and subconsciously does not see him as the guy. Because obviously, if she did not, she would not be doing this kind of stuff to him in public. So let's find that one article from People, whatever. basically talks about Michael. Read it out. The people one, yeah. Yeah. That was. It's about how they first met. So
Hold up. I'll bring that up. I had the other one. People.
yeah. So
We got people. Here it is. Let me go and talk to you now. Let me talk to you. So, how did Alec Baldwin meet his wife, Hilaria Baldwin? All about their chance encounter nearly 15 years ago, and why the actor waited 6 weeks to kiss her.
guys, if you're waiting 6 weeks to kiss a woman, I mean, if that's who you are, cool. But I'd be willing to bet that you do not want to wait 6 weeks, and you're doing it for some dumb reason, or you're being fake. And women obviously don't respect fake men. So, but let's keep going. That's ridiculous.
And also-
I kiss within the first hour,
There's also a
first
little,
hour minimum.
There's also a little subtext here on the title where it says Alec Baldwin proposed to his wife 1 year after meeting. So
Yeah,
that's just
I
more
don't know about
context.
that. I think you should wait 1 year to be in a relationship, but a lot of people are not ready to hear that. But anyway, let's continue.
After a 6-week courting period, Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin were all in. The couple met in February 2011 at a restaurant in New York City. At the time, Alec wasn't looking for a new companion, but his connection with Hilaria was undeniable, and the pair started dating that summer. The 30 Rock alum proposed in April 2012, and they married 2 months later. Jesus. Alec and Hilaria always planned to have a ton of kids, and they went on to welcome 7 children together.
Well, at least they were smashing after God knows how long.
Yeah. Hilaria is also a stepmom to Alec's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, whom he shares with his ex-wife, Kim Basinger. With their new TLC show, The Baldwins, which premiered on February 23rd, Alec and Hilaria are giving fans an inside look at their relationship and pulling back the curtain on the good, bad, and wild reality of raising their large family. Telling your story is one thing, and showing your story is something else. Hilaria told People in February, it felt authentic, it felt human, it felt very empowering.
I mean, to a certain extent, that's true because a man can empower a woman, and a lot of people are not ready for that. That's some deep stuff right there. But a lot of women have actually never met a man in their entire life, even though they think they have, but that actually have not. So it's very possible for a man to empower a woman. A male, however, cannot empower anybody because he is nothing.
Yeah.
He's nothing unless he thinks he is someone, and unless he becomes something by his behavior and who he is. And his character, very important.
Character, very important.
Character, strength, integrity.
How did
and
Alec
humor.
Baldwin and Hilaria meet? The couple first crossed paths in 2011, which we talked about just a little bit ago. During a joint interview with the New York Times in July 2012, Alec admitted that his opening line wasn't very clever. I was standing near the door with my friends when he walked up and took my hand and said, "I must know you," and then he gave me his card. That was his pickup.
She already knew that she was gonna run him. From that moment,
yeah.
she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna get that money.
I'm gonna get that.
I want that money." She's gonna Peter Parker that. He's like, "I want that money.
I want that money." I was standing near. Oh wait, I already said that.
She obviously probably knew who he was, so it's like, bro.
With a bit of encouragement from a friend, Hilaria called.
She needed
Alec,
encouragement from a friend.
and
She didn't want it.
And they had their first date a few days later. She told People that the actor took things slow in the early days of their relationship, waiting 6 weeks to kiss her.
Guys, the reason that
He shook my hand, no hug, nothing. He was very respectful.
which means loser. Guys, he probably wanted to smash that night, but he was trying to do the right thing, and he's trying to be respectful and wait to give her any. And she was going, because he's Alec Baldwin, and if she messes this up, she, could waste her entire life because she had a chance with Alec Baldwin at the time, right? So he wasn't the guy, and he was trying to go soft. He's trying to go easy. He was tiptoeing around. He was being kind of fake. He was probably smashing some other girl while he was talking to her anyway, but who knows? But he's basically, I think he was being a little fake there. Shook her hand. Guys, come on. Only a loser does that. If you first meet a woman, you give her a hug, man. You gotta go in there. Women like D too.
You know
They
what's-
like it.
You know what's really funny? They start to go into like who did Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin date before meeting? Like who cares?
Yeah,
But
that's
of
not
course
really
they're-
important.
But
That's
of
not
course they
really-
want to bring that up because people always think that the past matters. Like well, I guess it really depends, but they think that the past is going to affect the future, and that's usually never
No,
the case.
who you
Sometimes
are
know who
affects
you
the
are.
future.
Yeah. So that's just
What else we got
false.
on Twitter?
So let me get rid of this now, and let me go and bring some.
Or X, whatever people want to call it.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
Twitter.
so kind of a rocky start. I don't think he was being his true self, and I think she knew that he was. If he tried to smash on the first date, she would never have. She would have disregarded him. So, and I think the best relationships happen when two parties are both being completely real and authentic and being honest with what they want. Ideally, smash on the first date. But that's just me.
That's just
That's
All
just me.
all right. So here's the next little clip here. This one's gonna be a doozy. Let me get out of the way here.
I've seen one of the loves of her life
Yeah.
naked.
You can hear it.
He was one of the loves of her life. He was a very important boyfriend of hers. I mean, one of the loves of her life.
Sorry, folks.
I've seen one of the loves of her life naked. He was one of the loves of her life. He was a very important boyfriend of hers. And we went to go see him on Broadway, and he was naked. In his whole, as our British friends, he had his bits out. We went to go see Take Me Out, the musical that our dear friend Scott Ellis directed, and all these baseball players were in the locker room, and they were all turned around naked with their dongs hanging out. And he's there, her boyfriend, and I recognize him. I met him before. And when he turns around with his personality hanging out, I'm like, oh, okay. He had like a clarinet hanging from his pants. The guy literally turns around, and we were all like, whoa.
You remember this more than I do.
And when you meet him backstage, we go out into the lobby, we meet them all. And her boyfriend comes in, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
And I was like, I'm going to stay over here.
And you can't pay attention to a word he's saying. He's standing right here talking to me. I'm sitting looking at him going, and he's looking at me going, yeah, you know, the show and this and that and this. And I'm like, you have like a baseball bat that you stuff into your pants.
Oh, yeah, okay,
How
we-
does that work for you?
Yeah, guys, this is
Let's
just
move on from
that whole clip is basically just kind of humiliating him. Why are you talking about her ex's junk and stuff on stage? Like, stop it! Stop talking about other men.
What is happening?
That is that's a little sus right there. I think it's a little more to Alec Baldwin than we originally thought. But
Yeah.
I just don't. Why even doing that in front of your girl? Like, you're just making yourself look dumb. Like, I mean, no self-respecting man once again is gonna act like that in front of his woman.
Yeah, no, it's just not even good. You know, we do have another article.
And now
that
we
actually
have
came
another
out-
article that just came out, like I think
Yesterday.
yesterday. So let's go into that.
Yeah, so let me set that up for us, and let's talk about it. All right, share that. Here it is.
By the way, if anyone does want to come into the live stream, you can. There's a link in the chat. You can click on. By the way, if anyone has something to say about it,
Yeah, if
Feel
anyone
free to
wants to
come
talk
in.
about it, we can discuss. But here is the article. This one came out yesterday, and it's from page6.com. Hilaria and Alec Baldwin once considered calling it quits. The former yoga instructor writes in her upcoming memoir, Manual Not Included, about a time she was ready to walk away from her marriage.
I'm not surprised.
The
She would have
couples-
walked away with night one if he was actually being himself. But since he had to basically fake it till he made it,
Yeah. The couple's rockiest period took place before and after their second child. Now 9-year-old Raphael arrived in June 2015. Skirt. At the time, the duo fought a lot about how much Alec, 67, worked, including him replying to emails during her labor. Oh my god.
yeah, she's probably typical woman, just lonely without her man, unless she was cheating.
But I'm gonna also add to this. But dude, why are you dealing with work while your girl is giving birth to your legacy? What are you doing, bro?
I don't know.
That's
what's
your
going on.
legacy right there. Why are you worrying about work? Work could wait, dog. Leave it alone.
Yeah, he's not the smartest guy,
No.
obviously.
No, not really. It really pissed me off, and I didn't hesitate to tell him so. Well, Hilaria,
I can
41.
tell she's very she gets pissed off with him a lot, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, tells readers, adding to the actor's immediate return to work made her feel disrespected. Well, listen, like guys, technically, they don't really need to have paternity leave, but guys do it because it's really to help out and to also be
creating
more
families
acquainted.
is a good character trait of a
Yeah,
man.
it's best to that way you can be more acquainted to your child, because the child is going to only really know the mother for the longest time, but you don't want it to like not know about you as well. So you want to take the paternity leave for that specific reason, on to not only just take care of your child, but also to have those experiences with your child, and um, let them, especially when they're very young, understand and know who you are specifically, and that you are someone, at least in their building block stages, where that they can trust you.
Any woman who actually loves and respects her man is not going to allow an article to be published demonstrating on how she was ready to leave him at any moment. I mean, what kind of message is that putting out? When their kids grow up, they're going to see that. By the way, kids are like, "What? Mom was going to what?"
Their kids are going to see that right now, because a lot of them
Yeah.
are probably some of them are probably
Wait, mom's going to leave you? Yeah, that just looks horrible.
Yeah, I don't know what their oldest is right now, but because I think they said the second oldest was 9, and they've been together since 2012. So that means that at least, or at the oldest, 13. That their oldest child would be. The fuming fitness guru recalls, "I was so focused on how I thought things should be, and Alec was so set in his ways. Neither one of us would budge."
She should have budged.
In fact, Hilaria wrote in her book, which comes out Tuesday, that she went as far as to take her wedding rings off to show she was potentially ready to walk. The pair, who tied the knot in 2012, ultimately stayed together and went on to welcome 5 more children: Leonardo, Romeo, Eduardo, Maria, and Ilaria.
Guys, the truth is, I mean, a lot of people will ask, well, if she disrespects him so much, how come she's still with him? And the truth is that settled. A lot of people settle because they either hit a midlife crisis and they have to find something. See, look at that photo right there. The one where he's kissing her and everything. Look at that. Nope. Yep, that one. Look, does she even look interested at all? Come on, give me a break. He ain't the guy.
Jeez.
But, yeah. Now, respect to the kids. Now, creating, helping the birth rate is something we need. It seems that we need to do. So good for that, I guess. So they're doing something right.
Yeah.
Helping the birth rate crisis.
Hopefully they don't be like how he is right now.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people just settle on someone, and a lot of you guys, maybe someone even watching this, are maybe also is settling with your man or your woman, because you just gave up on trying to look for someone you're really compatible with. So you'll just stick to the one where okay, it's good enough, like decently compatible, a decent match. Cool, this could work. Or she's hot, so I might as well just stay here. Not a good idea. Anyone with self-respect will know what exactly they want and who they are, and they will have standards for themselves. Alec Baldwin does not have standards, which is why he chose this woman. And this woman, Alec Baldwin wants to marry me. Yeah, I guess so. This could work. Cool. And her friends are probably like, "Come on, girl, that's Alec Baldwin. Get that money.
Yeah.
Get that family. Get that status. Go into that world." So why would she not be with him? And doesn't mean he's the guy. It doesn't mean she gets that tingly feeling. It's just that they settled. And a lot of you guys probably do the same thing. Unfortunately, it happens. I do not want to settle. I'm good. But a lot of people do that because they feel like it's the only way to go, or they give up on dating because they don't want to go through the hassle of the talking stage all over again. So they just stick with one person. But choosing the wrong person to marry and be in a relationship with can cost you your life in some cases, and it can cost you a lot of mental pain. So sometimes it's just worth being alone until you find someone that you're actually compatible with. But most people don't see it that way, and they're just desperate, or they're just thirsty, and they think that if they could lock someone down, at least they get access to get some smashing going. But
smash. Yeah, so this article continues. "I need reassurance," Alec explained to AP News ahead of the Hampton ceremony. "I need to know I still got you there. I need to know you're not going anywhere." His wife noted, "Once you get married, you're done, but it's really good to say, hey, I'm still in this." Hilaria and Alec's ups and downs are documented on their TLC reality show, The Baldwins, which premiered in February. During a March episode, the 30 Rock alum made a rare comment about his divorce from ex-wife Kim Basinger, who he was married to from 93 to 02. Alec told viewers that one of the most regrettable things about their contentious split was how it affected the former couple's now 29-year-old daughter, Ireland. The Emmy winner claimed in March that his family is already renegotiating their contract for the series' second season. All right, whatever.
Well, I'm not gonna watch
No
that.
one's gonna watch that.
Unless there's like some game in there that we can provide you guys some value out there, maybe something to learn. But choosing the wrong man or the wrong woman will have consequences if you don't know who you are and your values, your standards, your principles, who you are, what you want, things like that. A lot of you have no sense of self, and when you have no sense of self, you have no idea what you're going to do, who you're going to choose, and you just end up with anyone, and you end up having a miserable life. Or sometimes you might choose like the wrong woman, and then you'll get very angry and emotional easily because subconsciously you know that you made a bad choice, and you are only sticking with someone because that's all you got, and you have no other options, and that's a bad way to go. It's better to have no options than a bad option.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys need to understand before you make these choices, especially before you get married, before you impregnate someone, you need to be very careful with the choices that you make because it will affect everything in every aspect of your life, literally. Business, work, self, family, friends, like it really affects everything. Alec Baldwin is a celebrity and he has plenty of money. He has plenty of time, plenty of resources. He's going to be good no matter what. But the average guy is not going to be good. And if they mess up by choosing the wrong person to be in a relationship with, it will cost them everything. And then they will go on a downward spiral and it will destroy your life. And it's actually very serious. It's a very serious topic. That's why a lot of people need to learn from this and see how this celebrity gets disrespected so they do not make the same mistakes he did and get disrespected themselves. That's why it's very wise that we preach to make very solid choices, especially in the person that you choose to stick your thing in, because if you make the wrong choice, you will suffer.
Yeah. It's always about the consequences. Like Andrew was saying, you gotta understand the consequences of your actions regardless of what you do, and you have to know what are the good and bad consequences that can come out of it. You got to know what is the good that can come from this? What are the negatives that can come from this? Does the negatives outweigh the positives? Does the positive outweigh the negatives? What goes on here? You got to know. You got to think about everything, because especially as a man, because you can't just run on impulse, because that is acting with emotion, and acting with emotion can get you into some dangerous waters. You definitely don't want to go there. Always think about what you're doing. Be calculated. Understand what you're doing, because your life is affected specifically on the actions that you make. It's not somebody else's actions. It's not because of this person or that person. It's based on what you do. And so if you can put your life in the right direction, if you can learn from the mistakes of others and take people's advice and apply it into your own life, you might not have to deal with a lot of smaller issues that could possibly build up over time. You can take those away and you can experience your own things. It's okay to fail. I'm not saying that, trying to get all these things out of the way is to just so you don't have to ever fail. You want to fail, but the ones that we're trying to explain here are things that where if you do fail, it's going to be very, very hard and difficult to bring yourself back. Like Andrew was saying, if Alec Baldwin loses, if he suffers and gets like a divorce and loses half his money, he still has money. He'll still have something, right? It's gonna suck for him that he lost a lot of money, or and he might have lost like his house and stuff, but he could still get another house. Granted, it's gonna be a smaller one.
Yeah.
He still will have something and some sort of resource. Normal guys, average guys like us, especially people who are watching this video, Andrew and I, whatever, if something that like that would happen to us, it's going to be very hard. It's going to hurt a lot. And it can possibly affect in a negative way, like how you can even progress in your life, like jobs, trying to apply to maybe get a loan for a house or something, whatever it might be. A lot of these things can, can affect you in such a way where you really need to understand what you're doing and how these things will, positively or negatively affect you.
Yeah, a lot of these celebrities, they go through the same thing because these celebrities, they ain't got game like that. They don't know what they're doing. They're in this fantasy world in Hollywood, and they don't have good angels on their shoulders to give them good advice. But you guys hopefully have a good support system around you. So hopefully you guys found some value in this, guys. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you guys think about the situation. And, of course, you can check out allgainstore.com. Link in the description below. We have some awesome merch. I think you guys would love it. Hats, hoodies, coffee, mugs, you name it, a lot of stuff, especially for the summer coming up. So definitely check it out. And we're going to see you guys in the next video or live stream.